on a display, but I can't love what AS Esports have done with their draft.
Yeah, I mean, we gotta give credit where credit is due. Definitely a decent draft coming out by their side. With, yeah, this time a different player on the Gwen. This time also playing against the Na yet again for the side of Kiaya. And this could be something where Tutti really shows up his own teammate in this regard. And overall, I mean, good physical damage coming out by their side. The Wukong also not getting too threatened by the Nocturne in general, I would say, as you cannot really spell shield a good spell from the Wukong, and Wukong can just beat up the Nocturne in the jungle if he happens to find him. But Levi, of course, he's on his comfort pick, and he knows what to do on it. He knows how to avoid these duels, or maybe even find the duels in the right place at the right time, and just start impacting the side lanes around level 6, I would expect him, because then the Paranoia, the most important spell of his kit, of course, then gets to be used.
So both junglers are going to be starting on their red buffs, which means that we might be seeing here looking for a gank towards the bottom side early on, which is exactly what I would like to see anyway. Try to accelerate Uzi, just like what Hyo did in game 1.
Yeah, exactly what they're going for. And here we see Levi going for the Crux on his side, as that might just be something that they're doing. And yeah, of course, bot lane action this time not really showing up too much. And yeah, what I now want to see is, of course, this mid lane Tristana pick really coming to fruition, as it currently hasn't been able to do much. Of course, the first 3 levels not really something where you can really see much. Kati just now getting pushed in, but he will be even in CS, so far nothing that Playcool could have done.
Playcool just going to try to bully out Kati as much as possible. Still early stages in the lane, so not really too much of an advantage that Playcool has been able to establish just yet, but I'm sure his CS will start to extend even further over Kati as the minutes roll on.
Yeah. And just now, power farming coming up by the side of Levi. Here, Uzi with the first aggressive move against Style, forcing away the heal.
Oh, that's a really good dredge line onto Uzi. How did B land that? I don't quite know, but either way, Uzi instantly cleansing it, and Xin just hovering, looking for a potential winter spine.
Yeah, summoner spells now being traded. And it's a cleanse against 2 summoner spells by the side of GAM. So first good trade by the AS Esports bot lane. Uzi yet again showing his proficiency on this Lucian pick together with Xin, who on this Navi last game, I mean, he had like some moments, but also some bad moments, especially in the laning phase where he was getting hooked into very awkward situations. On this Braum, it will be much easier for him.
And they get level 3, and in goes AS Esports. They're looking for the first blood once again, but they're not going to find it. Either way, they do force B and Style out of the lane.
Yeah, very good yet again by the side of AS Esports. And Style and B maybe not respecting it as much, or just right now getting tested by this pressure coming out. Hyo also this game, just like last game, being around level 3 for a potential dive. Wisely by the side of Style and B to just back off and reset, as Style now in his own right got the cull, so he's ready to like farm it to the late game and really play this lane as safely as possible, as that is not really bringing him too much combat stats. Yaya now on this Narb matchup against the Gwen is not quite as dominating as he was last game, so Tutti definitely making some arguments to be the starting top laner for the side of AS Esports to look further and get more wins under the belt.
Yeah, and Tutti just trading into Kiaya a little bit, having a better laning phase than what we saw from LLT previously.
Yes, and we see this wave state being kind of neutralized. I think though Kiaya wants to push this wave in, and with Hyo being around, this might be like one window where Kiaya can get killed. Minion?
Kiaya taking minion autos, and it is enough for the first blood for Hyo, so completely different to what we saw in game 1, which was the focus towards the bottom side from Hyo. Instead, we get it towards the top side, and AS Esports once again find themselves with first blood.
Yeah, and already showing that this top lane is looking better for AS Esports this time. Hyo being there, right place, right time. Of course, Kiaya was in an awkward situation. He kind of had to push this way in. He was Medina, so a very easy snack for the side of the Wukong. He had to use his flash for it, however, and the minion actually finishing it off was kind of a comedy of errors, I would almost say, as Levi just now goes for the Drake. We see in the replay again how it played out. Kiaya, he tried to go for the solo kill, however. I mean, I understand if he would just try to push the wave as hard as he could, but here he just went over aggressive. I mean, that's very cocky of him to do so. Will grant them the Drake because they just had enough information on Hyo, and now they go for a fight.
They're going to get the Drake, but will they be able to get the kill? Zin diving in. It's a 3-man stun from Akati. But what can Uzi do? He's forced to flash out of the hero's entrance. GAM find themselves with the Drake and a kill as well.
And maybe not even stopping there.
Or the flash doesn't quite, or the flash hook from B does not find Uzi and GAM. Unfortunately for them, can't find a second kill of the fight.
And I'm so positively surprised by Kati, I must say. I mean, this guy is such an insane presence in this team, but look how he was like using the hero's entrance on top of himself, basically, to really just force so many reactions out of the side of ACE Esports with the flash blown by the side of Zin and Uzi. The kill going over, I think it went over to Style, I'm not quite sure. Maybe we'll see later if we see the scoreboard again. As this, of course, means GAM equalizing the goal score yet again, going for this Inferno Dragon. Here we see how the fight played out. Of course, with Hero ganking top lane, he would be late for this play. Gets hooked, and now this backline dive goes really insane for the side of GAM, with really Kati going for an insane taunt play, getting the knock up. Levi was the one really finishing off with the kill. Kati using this Hero's entrance on top of himself. Uzi now has to run for it. They try to go for more with this flash hook, but it just hits the wall, so there's nothing really to take from it. And GAM also knows when to really step out of it and is happy with what they got.
So, 1 kill to 1 right now. It is still AS Esports with the goal lead, courtesy of being able to get the extra gold from First Blood. And, well, good start for GAM nonetheless, being able to get that first Drake. And, well, we'll see whether AS Esports are able to kind of extend their advantage in this top lane.
And I really want to see what Levi really does right now, because he has a small experience lead against Hero, with him being level 6 and Hero maybe just not finishing it off if he happens to secure this red buff. And Paranoia, of course, the key spell for the side of this Nocturne, and you really want to make good use, especially of the first Paranoia, as you likely also won the Rune Ultimate Hunter, and then reduce the cooldown even further if you happen to get any takedowns from it, and that's usually what you really do with this ultimate in the first place. So maybe something in the way he can go for the bot lane. The Braum isn't there to protect Uzi if he would go for it right now, and maybe he knows that, but he would get spotted, so Uzi also, in the bigger scheme of things, just now wisely backs away.
And meanwhile, we're seeing B and Star playing very aggressive, as you mentioned, to zone Uzi and Zin away. Levi is in AS Esports jungle and is level 6 as well, so Uzi and Zin have to be very respectful of the Paranoia. All the while, Hero is on the top side of the map looking towards the Rift Herald, which could be some very nice plates going into maybe 2T or Playcall's hands.
Yeah, will be very easily secured, but gotta say, I mean, they also just dropped at least one plating in the bot lane already, and also so much farm and XP denied by the side of Style and B right now, together with Levi, of course, being there. I mean, this XP, this blue side minion wave will just crash into the turret, and Uzi and Din don't get to see anything of it, literally. And this is, of course, very detrimental to the Lucian lane, falling further behind. They already kind of get outskilled by the Silver in the first place, especially with the mini work coming out, and Hero just now, of course, gets a consolation prize with the Rift Herald and some camps in the side of Levi's jungle. But is that enough? I'm very, very doubtful of that.
And Playcall hasn't been able to really bully out Kati on this Galio, which is what we wanted to be seeing from this Tristana. And all Playcall has really been able to do is just match Kati in the mid lane so far. And there doesn't seem to be a real target for that Rift Herald. Like, sure, Hero can drop it in most lanes, and now Levi surely going to look for the Paranoia. He will indeed. The focus is on to Uzi. Tries to dive away, but the Hero's entrance will come through. Zin now on the run. Kati on the chase are flashing forward. Lands a taunt, and it is 2 kills for the side of GAM.
And AS Esports doesn't seem to have any direct answer against this Nocturne Galio global pressure coming out. What they are really trying to do is like pressure Kiai in the top lane right now with 3 members at the Rift Herald push coming in. And they will get a decent charge, especially if this explosive charge with Tristana also hitting. But they aren't even winning this race to first turret as well, I think, as the bot lane from GAM is also pushing down on their turret. With, of course, Uzi and Zin both dying. Kati getting the kill on towards Zin. And B didn't even need to use his ultimate. I mean, that's just so much pressure used by GAM and Kiaya. Adding insult to injury also allowed delays the recall from the side of Hero and AS Esports. A bit caught with the pants down.
Oh, Playcall thought he could go onto Kiaya, but Kiaya had the push warded, so knew exactly what Playcall wanted to do. And Hero cancelled his recall once again, thinking that he might be needed for the play. So it's just GAM being proactive on the map, it seems, Quincy, and AS Esports not having an answer for it.
And GAM just having the right answers. I mean, B just now also rotated towards the top lane just for the chance that also AS Esports would stick one, just rushed on this first turret, which of course buys some time to really push down their bot lane turret on their own with style now just being back there. It's still 2 platings for him to take, so that race would have actually been won by the side of AS Esports, which would surprise me initially, but GAM, even in that situation, would have been ready for it, as right now B went back towards the Drake area with Hextech Drake just now spawning. I mean, individual Drakes are kind of a meme, but Hextech Drake is something that I already like even on this patch before the buffs are really coming out. And maybe GAM wants to make a play for it as well.
B lands the dredge line onto Zin.
Levi.
Paranoia, and it is a steal from Levi on the Drake. Kyo will run, jumps over the wall with the Warrior Trickster, will be able to survive. As does Zin as well, to be fair. So AS Esports, you know, they run with their tails between their legs. They don't give over any more kills, any more gold to GAM, but it is just like game 1 with GAM picking up the first 2 Drakes of the game.
It was ultimately just Levi using his ultimate to steal a Drake, which is kind of weird because usually you would expect if GAM really goes for a paranoia engage to go for multiple kills, and AS Esports, luckily for them, would always say just drop not a single member, but of course drop this Drake they would have definitely liked to take. Now Hextech Drake plus Infernal Drake, I mean, the individual stats of the Drakes, as I said before, not really that impactful, but Hextech Drake stats are kind of nice, just some offensive spikes that makes it a little bit easier for them to really get kills in these fights. And GAM, of course, with the gold, it also being in their favor. They are just having small wins across every stat you can really have in the game, and that is really oppressive against what AS Esports is really bringing to the table here.
It's just been a very solid performance from GAM. This is what we expected in game 1. It was AS Esports who were surprising us with how well they played in the early stages of the game. But this is the GAM that we've come to expect in the last few weeks of the VCS at Summer Split. And I don't think they're going to be slowing down, not in this game or over the course of the split either.
I mean, at least AS Esports doesn't seem to be the team to stop them. I mean, there's still like a lot of strengths of schedule on the way for the side of GAM. I mean, they will definitely play the top teams again, will play Team Secret again. This is, of course, one of those teams that will be ready to challenge them. Or, as we have to frame it right now, it would be GAM challenging Team Secret, as Team Secret is a top dog right now. And GAM...
So, I have a question for you, Quincy. This week, we've got 2 very big games. We've got Saigon Buffalo against Team Secret, which is our first series on Friday. And then our second series on Saturday is GAM against Saigon Buffalo. Which one do you think is the bigger series? You know, if you had to give match of the week to one of them, which one would you give it to?
Actually, GAM against Saigon Buffalo, just because, not just because of the history, that would be like the very lame answer, right? One going to MSI, one winning SEA games, but actually because I think that it's a closer match. I think Saigon Buffalo in the current state would just lose to Team Secret probably, and I think GAM against SGB could be a very tight match. Saigon Buffalo, of course, wanting to make some distance.
Are you saying that GAM aren't as good as Team Secret right now?
Yes, I am. I think Team Secret is the best team, clearly.
But GAM beat Team Secret 1 week ago, or 2 weeks ago.
And I'm not too convinced by GAM overall. I mean, we have seen them against Team Wales, but they should have lost. I think Team Secret is still the team to beat.
Fair enough. I respect that. I respect that. As a president of the Eddie fan club, I can respect that. However, back to this game. GAM now sieging onto the mid lane outer tower with 3 members and Levi just hovering around hoping for a way in, and there's so much damage coming through. Dredge line as B fishes for a potential engage. Doesn't even matter if he takes a tower shot, it does practically nothing to the level 7 Nautilus.
Yeah, and as we see that, another TP being used by the side of AS Esports to really stop the bleeding in the mid lane a little bit, as GAM is currently leading with 3k gold on their own. Second Herald is just now started by Hyo, but he might be forced to stop this, as GAM is now also on, and we have seen Levi steal 1 objective so far. He might just get another one.
I laugh if 2T and Carti both teleport in. Oh my god, they're teleporting as well. We're going to get a 5v5 for the second Rift Herald. It's the play that I didn't think we needed, and now that I'm seeing it, I still know we don't need it. Paranoia into the backline. 2 quick kills for the side of GAM. I don't know what AS Esports was smoking to think that they could take this fight, but they are not fighting anything. It's 4 quick, easy kills for the side of GAM, and the Rift Herald that AS Esports were able to secure will not be picked up either, Quincy.
I think I know why they have to die to this. I mean, it's just some sort of tradition that every VCS team at least gets walked once by a double global comp from GAM Esports. I mean, they just do it over and over again. I remember seeing it already like 2 years ago when I started casting the VCS. And yeah, it's just them not really respecting that much. Also, being like down in every metric by a little bit is not really helping them either. They just start the Swift Herald as maybe a little bit of a desperation move already, and GAM just picked them apart with Noctingalio. It's just so good to see. Also, James Bond style on the 007 Civil. Not even being the main damage dealer.
I was about to bring that one up, Crincy, and ask you to close your eyes and guess who had more kills, style of B.
Yeah, B has a single kill. He's insane. And Silver support this gameplay. Kati is so insane this game. I mean, I'm not used to doing so much favor for Kati in my casting, but this game,
this is what happens. This is what happens when GAM just put him on Corki and Galio.
Yeah, he just played Seraphine and Galio. Right? The more supportive, the better. Like he cannot be useless on these picks, and that's very hard to say. I mean, he was like playing like some very outplayed solo queue chips like Akali last bit and was just going for risky plays and dying for no reason. If he isn't on those picks, like picks with maybe as few mobility as possible, as much utility as possible, it works brilliantly for GAM. And yeah, GAM very, very good right now. If they are as good as Team Secret, of course, I'm kind of doubtful of that still, despite them beating them 2-1. But yeah, just now, third pick coming out, and Hio, come on, this is win trading. I mean, it would be win trading if you would be winning otherwise, but Hio, please.
He thought he had a tower to protect him, and then we see 2 autos, and the tower is gone. And then Hio is gone as well. Everyone's gone. There's a paranoia in the mid lane. Uzi's going to be gone as well. He cleanses, flash forward, and then he's sent back to his base.
Yeah, it's almost like Ace Esports just has a hot date later tonight, and they just want to make it a quick one. As they just now also lose their own top lane T1 turret. I mean, why was he in this position in the first place? He was behind the T1 turret. When they are so far behind, they was just emoting and getting killed. I'm a little bit baffled by that. It looked like really very unserious gameplay by him. And this is sad to see because his game 1 was so good, despite the loss.
I don't know who's got the hot date. I don't know if it's GAM or AS Esports, to be honest. Maybe they both got hot dates. Little did they know. They've got a date with each other. So I don't know who's going to be paying the bills at the restaurant for that one. But Kiai gets a nice solo kill on the duty.
I think Kiai should pay it. He just got very, very rich. Just got some 300 gold infused for his side as well, as GAM's completely rocking this game. I mean, what is there really to analyze at this point anymore? I mean, we can talk about this Tristana, who I thought should like make some noise in the early to mid game. It's on 0-0-0. Yeah, congratulations, you're 20 CS ahead against the Galio that got like 9 Dark Seal stacks, 2 kills, is on Crown of the Shattered Queen, so actually deals some damage actually, which is something very rare to see for Galios, who would usually, I think, go something like Everfrost for the extra utility, but I think Crown is definitely not bad. I mean, if you are all the time going ham, going in, and actually want to threaten some kills with Winds of War, sure, why not, just go in, and here we see, yeah, Na against Gwen, the mid game still very good for the Na, and Kiaya also mechanically plays it very, very well, a bit better than Tuti, I would say. As he has like some outplay potential to dodge like some needles, and yeah, Na with the Triforce, a very strong champion right now.
Well, going back to that crown point, I think when you're going against champions like a Tristana and a Lucian that want to do a lot of burst damage, I think the crown can be very useful, even if the Everfrost does give, you know, more setup to plays. But right now, I don't think GAM are struggling with finding setup for their players. They're 10 kills to 1. They've got themselves a very comfortable 7-kill goalie play call. Oh, has Levi been caught out? Is there any way out for Levi? Over the wall goes a Wukong trying to predict a dash or a flash, but in the end, play call is able to secure the kill.
And that was just a mistake by Levi, I mean, plain and simple. I mean, he could have flashed Summer, but it would actually likely have been a wasted flash. He just presses Paranoia for the funds, I think. Just maybe to buy some time on the other side of the map for his team members who couldn't really make use of anything. And B... Yeah,
Did you see that hook?
Yeah.
Oh, he tried to hook a minion, and then he hooked the wall that was just on his left. So, yeah, I just wanted to call that out because I saw it. And, you know, right now, GAM aren't making enough mistakes. So when they do make mistakes, I need to call them out.
Exactly. And you guys are trying to tell me that Team Secret is actually not the top team right now, and it's actually GAM. And then I see Levi do this into B seeing this. I mean, is Team Secret really that bad? Come on.
Yeah, Zuha would never do that hook on a Nautilus, okay? Mainly because he'd probably just be playing Renata as always.
Exactly, he wouldn't even play Nautilus. We love him. He actually plays the best supports. So.
Okay. Anyway. So, how's your day going, Quincy?
I'm doing all right. I mean, just a few hours ago, I got noticed that Spoots is actually ill, and I would need to be producing. But I was mentally ready for that, as I'm having a great day, great cast so far. I mean, the second game especially, very, very fun to watch game, very interesting to really talk to you again, as I missed you, of course. I mean, it has been about 1 week, and yeah. What are Thursdays without Milky Quincy VCS casts? They would feel weird. I mean, last time I kind of ditched you guys, which is of course very unfortunate, and I'm still very, very sorry about that. But yeah, very good day so far.
You having to produce and cast is making up for you ditching us last week, and then I had to cast with Spoods. Then I thought I was going to be casting with Marby because things, and then in the end I casted with Yulwei. So I kind of went through everyone on Thursday, just Rebel, because Rebel's scared of me, so he's avoiding me recently.
Rightfully so. Oh, is it Rebel being scared of you, or is it you being scared of Rebel?
Well, that's left up to interpretation. You know, some interpretations will be wrong in that regard, but you know, I'll leave it open so the viewers can decide. You know, it's like a good book, Quincy, isn't it? There's no definite answer, but different readers will imagine a different scene from being able to read things. Now, when my English teacher always taught me that about, like, that's how books are and that's how cool books are, I always just said, well, that's stupid, isn't it? Because then you're all seeing different things and that just means the person hasn't written the book properly. But apparently that's good storytelling. So here we are. GAM, they pick up a soul. I'll leave the viewers to try to work out what's going on. Are AS Esports maybe coming for a comeback, or do GAM have this game completely under their control?
Let's wait and see what Levi's really doing, as he's really in.
Oh, dearie me. I don't know why I just went off on a massive tangent. Either way, Hyo is going on a massive trip back to his base. He's going to be sitting at his PC for 30 seconds, unable to do anything except for twiddling his thumbs, as GAM will be taking the Baron, and this time Hyo is dead, so Hyo can't steal the Nashor away. Yeah,
should be a done deal with the Nash, and also why you probably went on a huge tanker, because this game should be a done deal unless GAM does some very, very major slip-up.
AS Esports, I think they want to give a Baron over, and then they want to give 4 kills over, because they're lining themselves up all to die. Uzi will be the first one to fall. 2T is the next on the menu for GAM. And GAM say, well, thank you for the 2 extra kills there. I don't know how you thought you were going to steal that Baron away, because that was far closer to a 90-10 than it was to a 50-50.
I mean, they were 8k down, they were also down the soul. The Baron is about to be done. I think if you try now and try to go for kills, and they kind of did it with the coding command from Lucian, but gotta say, I mean, GAM is just too good to fall for that, and yeah, just secure the Baron, get 2 more free kills on their side. It looks silly, but I think AS Esports had to try something. I would have hated it more if they would just turtle in the base and just wait for the inevitable, like this. They at least like ever 1 in 1,000 chance to really swing back like something in the game. I mean, also huge shutdowns on the side of GAM right now. I mean, it's of course Style, who didn't die this game, now started finally picking up some kills. He had a 550 gold bounty on his own head, and Kati and Kiaya also having huge bounties. And if you like get a miracle Baron secure, I mean, we have seen, like, I think it was a Jinx Zap stealing an Elder Dragon or something, like in another VCS game. I mean, why not just go for a place like this? If your 10k go down, there's nothing really you can do in this game anyway, so might as well go for the miracle.
Okay, quick question. You take away the Baron buff away from GAM, you throw an Elder buff onto all members of AS Esports, you throw them into an enclosed area 5v5 fight, do GAM still win?
I think they don't. I think in the Cyclone from Hero, followed by the Culling and Needlework, I think someone would die, and then yeah, you would have reached the city for play cool maybe. I think, I mean, that at that point, AS Esports could come back. Elder's just that insane.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to be getting an Elder. Gamba crushing on in to AS Esports space. They're now looking for the bottom lane inhibitor tower. The mid lane inhibitor has already been secured. Good hook from B, and a pop goes the Monkey King. They turn their attention towards 2T. They pick up another kill. A Hero's entrance under the Nexus towers. Uzi is just getting shredded by the ricochets, and it's only poor old Zin left, the support left to watch his base crumble in front of his very eyes. There's nothing that alone Braum can do. Maybe he'll join the rest of his team in the death chamber as B lands a dredge line, but the Unbreakable will buy plenty of time for Zin, as GAM will take a comfortable 2-0 win over AS Esports.
Very comfortable 2-0 for